Hello, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh, and that was Cinematic Danger from Kevin McLeod. And there's danger tonight. There's danger out there every night. Sometimes it's not in the real world, it's on the internet. And sometimes it's in the real world as it's both. And what I'm going to detail is a possible scenario. This does not mean it's true. This does not mean it's factual. This is based on conjecture and information I have and information I was given. What I think is likely or possible. And this is the Bellgab files. Was Art Bell murdered? And I'll give you the reasons why I think so. I don't know where everybody is. All right, before I do that, though, this is the new phone connector for my 20 times higher speed internet service that we put on Monday. I thought this was a new modem. It looks kind of cool. It looks like a wireless speaker, but this is for the phone. I got that today, and the new modem and the AT&T fellow will be there on Monday. So Monday night, 20 times higher speed. There should be no more buffering. Hello, Albert. And earlier, two idiots, one in the park and two in the car, actually three idiots were playing what I would loosely call music. It was a lot of, so this is what I put up with. There's a reason why I stopped listening to rock years ago. All right. Some of you may know Bellgab. I don't know anybody's going to listen to this, and some of you may not know. It is a discussion board that was shut down about a week ago. It originally was George Norrie Sucks. It was run by Michael Van Verheven, who also calls himself Bardell, whose real name is Michael Walker. He runs the Cape Computer Store in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, the home of the Rush Limbaugh family. No connection to Rush Limbaugh, but that'll give you an idea of where it is. It's in the very southern tip of Missouri, and it's very close to where the 1800 massive earthquake hit. Well, a number of years ago, Michael Walker, his computer store was a victim of grand theft. He lost $75,000 when an employee ripped him off. The employee was convicted, and unfortunately I cannot look it up to tell you if the employee ever made restitution. But you can believe that any store that gets a small store that gets ripped off for $75,000 is going to hurt it. I had found the article about the theft and the conviction of the thief who went to prison. But unfortunately, it was on my Mac, and I do not know if I saved it to my portable hard drive. So there we have this scenario of Michael Walker takes a huge hit to his business. So at some point, I guess he listened to Coast AM, Art Bell, and then when Art quit because of his back, George Norrie took over the show. Walker starts George Norrie Sucks, the discussion. Well, that doesn't quite go over. A lot of people get on there, but he's probably not making any money on it. Then I start making fun of George Norrie, and someone on there starts, I think it might have been Curtis Thornton, the general music. It's a faulty thread, a subboard of that. And Bart L., who is really MD, starts posting this goofy looking picture of himself, supposedly. Horrible photoshopped images of me, Kathy, lots of insults, and other people, Rally Squirrel, and a host of other trolls come in there. And the fun for them was on. The misery for me was starting. After some time and numerous complaints by me and my fans, Michael Walker, MD, took the thread down for a year. But the thing was, he was making a lot of money off that thread because people were clicking on the ads. After a year, he banished me from Bellgab. Here, I did nothing wrong. His excuse was you're being attacked too much. It's not your fault. Yet he did nothing to stop the trolls. He didn't ban any trolls like Little Chris. He did ban one person, the evil, double convicted child molester, Robert Robinson III. So I come back after a year and the thread continues, and it winds up going to 3,000 pages. And from what I was informed, NB made thousands of dollars off that thread. When people said you should give me a cut, he didn't. Art Bell went back on Coast, then left, then started their show on Sirius and left, then started Midnight in the Desert and shows on Patreon and quit. But in the meantime, George Norrie and Art Bell were both on the Gabcast, MD's podcast, I call Catcast. And one of the people on there was Heather Wade. Heather Wade is a mean-spirited woman. When I was on there as a guest several times, she made continually rude and insulting comments about me. Another person on there was typing in the background the whole time and laughing when I was on there. Heather Wade insulted me, insulted George Norrie. And yet, MD and others were telling Art Bell and George Norrie how wonderful Heather Wade is and how she should be Art Bell's producer for Midnight in the Desert. So suddenly a person with no production experience, no knowledge of producing, and both Art Bell and George Norrie go, oh, we love Heather Wade, she's so wonderful. She starts producing Art's show and is a miserable failure at it. But she inculcated herself with Art Bell. She had an in there, and she used the fullest. And suddenly she went from being, excuse me, a poverty-stricken person on supplemental security income to living in the Art Bell complex in Art Bell's handball court. In the interim, MD is given a show on the Dark Matter Network. Keith Rowan, the owner of Dark Matter Radio Network, throws him off. Why? He makes terrorist threats against Costco. Envy happens to be married to a Muslim. Now, I think what happened in the year that I was off Bellgab, he was hemorrhaging money somehow and needed it. But so they came up with this scheme. In the meantime, also, another dark figure comes out, the mysterious pot grower and drug seller Aldous Burbank, who flips from place to place around the country on an Amtrak use it all you want pass. He goes on Future Theater with Bill and Nancy Burns. Now, why this guy would be on Future Theater is beyond me. He has no knowledge of the paranormal field as far as I can determine. He also promised to show up here in Martinez repeatedly to take me up a lunch. But he shows up at the complex. He is trying to have a relationship with Heather Wade. She rejects him. Then suddenly there are stories I'm getting told by at least 12 to 15 people. She's living in the animal court. She's having sexual orgies. She's having animal sacrifices, satanic masses, using pentagrams, and drugging our bell. And what I think that when Heather Wade got to living on the complex, there was the opportunity to manipulate the senior abuse and to steal money from Art Bell. The figure I heard was $2 million. Art Bell turns deathly ill. In the meantime, his wife is in the Philippines. She comes back. Art finds Art on the brink of death, rushes into the hospital, and tries to eject Heather Wade from the complex, and is unsuccessful. Art goes, he's got COPD, he's got emphysema, he's on his death's door. He goes in for emergency surgery, and he's recovering. In the meantime, the woman who had no money to her name comes up with $90,000. Perhaps it was a gift by Art Bell. And during this time, Art returns once he starts recovering and starts crying, my Heather, I need you. Where is my Heather? She buys Art Bell's guest house. So now she's living on the land in his guest house. And Keith Rowland fires her from Midnight in the Desert. But after a prediction she made that her show was not long lasting, her listenership was down, subscriptions were down, it was losing money, and then Art Bell mysteriously dies. And what I think happened, supposedly MD got 2 brand new cars given to him by 6 weeks, 10 years wife. I think that was covered. I think that Aldous Burbank, who has disappeared as far as I know, he got paid off, and so did Heather Wade. And she went to her failed new network and is gone to dump her show with repeats. And I think she got paid off. And the bulk of the 2 million was spirited out of the country to support terrorism. So, and Art Bell's mysterious death, we still have not been told how he died, but he died incredibly suddenly. He did a show on the Gabcast before he died, as did Dave Schrader. And I think Art Bell was murdered because they could no longer drug him and they could no longer dominate him. And his usefulness was over because the money was gone. So that's my conjecture, and that's why I think Art Bell is dead. Now, none of this could be factual, but the circumstantial evidence that I have been informed by someone involved with intelligence sources and other people leads me to believe it could well be true. We have a radio legend who's being drugged, who's had drugs that allow you to control his will, who is suddenly in failing health. Now, he did smoke for years, and he probably developed COPD and emphysema, but that is controllable. I've got COPD and asthma. But they waited for the opportunity of his wife to leave the country and let Art Bell alone. So I had to say this tonight because there has been no autopsy report, and it's been since April. And normally, an autopsy report, once they get the toxicology figures, is released. I remember when Prince died, there was immediate speculation, as they do with all rock stars, when he had drugs in his system, toxicology report comes out, he was full of drugs. Same with Michael Jackson. Art Bell, there's silence. And I think it's because there's a criminal investigation going on. and the DA of Nye County and the sheriff and the state officials don't want people to know that he was murdered. I could be wrong in all this. All right, I am not. Yes, I am somewhat blind because they screwed up my left eye during cataract surgery. But I'm not going to allow that, and I am not going to allow any trolls in here. So goodbye, Mr. Hanson. It's an insult to the astrological sign and the tribes. So there's my scenario of why Art Bell, radio legend, creator of Coast to Coast AM, and Midnight the Desert, and Dark Matter, is dead. I got enough evidence over the last several years to make me think this is a very plausible scenario. So I leave it up to listeners to decide whether they think it's plausible. Hello, Jerry, and welcome. But this is why I had to run this down, because $2 million is a hell of a lot of money to disappear, particularly when you got one person involved who had no money. Now, the figure I heard from her, not from her, about her, was when she was hosting Midnight in the Desert, she was getting $10,000 a month. Even at that, or it may have been a week, but even at that, it would take 9 months or 9 weeks to come up with 90 grand. Plus, you have escrow, closing costs, and all of that. And the day of the funeral, from what I was informed, she refused to take Aaron Bell and Asia Bell to the funeral, and that's when she killed and fired her. And she refused to go to the funeral, claiming she was distraught. But I think the real reason is she didn't dare go to that funeral because she was confronted by people who knew the real reason. Again, this is speculation on my part. I wasn't there. I will, when I get a vehicle, be going to Pahrump, and I will do as much as I can. I'm going to try to get press credentials. I'm more legitimate than just the official researcher of Coast to Coast as chosen by George Miller. And I will try to investigate with the authorities as best I can the circumstances of Art Bell's death, and I will try to see if I can get a talk with Aaron Bell herself. I think people want to know. No, she has not returned to radio. She's still doing her podcast, but from what I was informed, she's running repeats, which is not a good thing. If you start a new podcast, you're running repeats. That means no one wants to listen. Her credibility is shot. When the word got around that she refused to drive Asia and Aaron Bell, I'm sure that lost her a hell of a lot of listeners. It sure as hell would make me never want to listen to her again. You don't take the widow of Art Bell to a funeral? You refuse? Something wrong with it. So, I don't care how distraught you is, you hold it inside of you and you get in the car and you take you to the funeral. You can do your mourning later. Maybe I'm absurd of stuff. Of course, my dad died. I was weeping even though I should have been jumping for joy because my dad was a very nasty bit of work, but he was my father. But there's, like I said earlier in an earlier broadcast, there's something really fishy about this whole situation. So, by the way, I washed this hat. It was never fitting too loosely to begin with. Now it's tighter than it. So, that's what I think. I think Art knew too much, and they had to cut him. Now, I want to go on to one other issue. They're making a big deal. The East Bay Times said Art Bell, not Art Bell, I'm sorry, hard to jump and segue from one topic to another. But Trump calls out Europe, and I don't remember the exact wording, but he said something that's interesting in a historical sense. Some of you may have read Tom Clancy's book, Red Storm Rising. And Red Storm Rising scenario was the Soviet Union cuts off natural gas and oil supplies to Europe for invasion of Germany. And what did Angela Merkel do? A country of Germany that pays no money into NATO. She makes a secret deal with Putin that 50 to 70% of the natural gas supply of Germany sent through a private pipeline, and she makes a personal profit of it. So President Trump is out. So that's going back to Art. I think he was murdered, and I think the authorities are investigating the murder, and that's why the autopsy results have not been shown. And I think the money was steered to other countries for terrorism. When you have a host of a podcast on the Dark Matter Radio Network make terrorist threats against a major company, there's something bizarre there. And when you have $2 million disappear, there's something bizarre. Now, all of this is conjecture, but perhaps MD was so strapped for cash, they came up with this scheme with Heather Wade and Alice Burbank. And by the way, I said before, I confirmed that the shootings, the two shootings at Artbell's house, were legitimate shootings. I confirmed that with the Nye County Sheriff's Office, and there are 2 videos to that effect on my video list. And one of the other things that people say, the haters, no one listens to my video. Well, Auburn was here today, and I showed him these over 700,000 views in my video, and over 1,100 subscribers. So again, nobody watches my video. That comes to, even if you looked at my videos for 1 minute, that's almost more people that are in San Francisco. And it's about 2.5 times as many people. It's 2 times as many people, times a factor of 10, that are in here in Martinez, California. And I'm working on something else too, but I won't tell you. I've got a whole bunch of irons in the fire. The air conditioner guy is not going on lately. We should show up and start this business. Auburn will be here next week, and the AT&T guy, I'll be so happy. 20 times speed. Almost as good as the new MacBooks, who are 70%, but at one point they put the wrong year, they got chewed. They put 70 times faster than the old Mac. And Apple is still not saying about new Macs in the line. They haven't done a new Mac upgrade in years. So Art, I think, was drugged. Maybe hypnol, maybe some psychotic drug, maybe some kind of peyote or magic mushroom, because Alice Burbank was into medicinal herbs, as they say. And Heather Wade, being a black witch, would know what potions to use, what things like belladonna and other things. And the other thing that we discussed today was ricin. Most coroners will not find ricin because they won't be looking for it. Ricin will kill you quickly. So, well, that I don't know, but why would bowel cancer be a problem if they wouldn't release bowel cancer? See, that's another. And I'm concerned about that in my case because my father had prostate cancer. They found it and they got it, in 1959, and they found a precancerous growth in my colon when they did a colonoscopy. And they said they have to wait 3 years to find out if it's going to be cancer or not. So I'm not too thrilled about that. But your brother is calling you. Well, okay. Talk to you later. Come back later. Or call me later on the night. So, you see, that is not a suspicious reason to not release the autopsy. Unless Art was at some point got a dose of radiation that gave him cancer. Remember, Jack Ruby had a cold. He suddenly had cancer, and a rare form of cancer. And Urian Dropoff had a cold, and he died. So you can get a rejection of cancer and die. So, when my father died in the bathtub, he was drunk for the last time in his life. He had a massive heart attack. They still do an autopsy because it was under circumstances not in the home. They released the autopsy results, I think, in about a week. And they said he died of a massive heart attack, and he had arteriosclerosis, emphysema, and he was definitely drunk and slid beneath the water. And while he was having a heart attack, drowned. Suspicious, but once they determined it was natural causes aggravated by alcohol, there was no mystery. But 3 months, no, there's something going on. Now, maybe the family put enough pressure not to release the results, but autopsy results are public, mostly, except if your name is John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Then things get sealed for 39 years, so we're all dead. So, I've done nothing except put away a bunch of cables and try to figure out things like where is the power cord for this early airport exchange. I can't find it. I also have trouble seeing it. But I have not been on Bellgab. They have created an account for me without my permission, authorization, or knowledge until I got an email saying I have an account there. I have not looked at Bellgab other than to see if it was active, and it was. When I was informed it existed, anyone posting on there claiming to be Faulky 13, George Senda, Anthony George Senda, or anything with the name Senda, or the guy from Pittsburgh is not me. I am not on Bellgab. And will never go on Bellgab. But then I have been impostered on Bellgab, on Sewergab. So you rest assured I wouldn't waste my time. But remember, it's controlled by Michael Walker, MD, Bart L. That's why it's called Bellgab. And he's a troll master. And he knows all about computers. But I had the email and I deleted it. The further should kept saying, thank you for subscribing to Bellgab. I mean, what the hell? Not the word I used. I can do this. But the white troll, told Snap T that he would give me money for AlienCon if I logged in and posted on Bellgab. And when I asked him about it, oh no, I never said that. He's a liar. They've been trying to get me to go on Bellgab for years, and I refused. I said the only way I'd ever get on that site again is to, damn, no, that thing isn't plugged in, it's red hot. What the hell factory made this? I wouldn't go on, the only way I'd go on that site, I told MD, is if that Falky said we're eliminated. And he wasn't going to do that, he's making too much money. And I got told that by a number of people. I don't go on troll sites. I don't go to 4chan. I don't go on the dark web. I don't talk to trolls. I put some posts on a Michael Vera video where he claims that Heather Wade and others are involved in criminal conspiracy to drive him off the Dark Matter Radio Network. He's not on there anymore either. I just destroyed the speaker. Hold on. Well, probably can't see what the hell you're doing, and you're trying to do two things at once. This is a Vivitar speaker, and I just had it drop on the floor. Oddly, it's still working. It's just not connected to the cord. Hold on. Very old Vivitar speaker. Well, let's see if this thing still works. That's interesting. That's not there. I got no speaker. Hold on. Boy, it's not recognizing at all. There it is. Where is it going to put? Let's try this again. I guess I'll That's not it. Hold on. That's what happens when they screw up one eye and you can't see what you're doing. All right, the input volume is all the way up. Now let's see if we can get iTunes back on it. I mean, not the flying chords on power. If it got red hot, I was concerned it would start a fire. Not even plugged in, but it's red hot. It's weird. I'm putting cables away all day, so I'm only cabling all day. Let's see. Hold on. Well, the volume for the input is up all the way. The input is me talking. Now, something happened when that got pulled out, but I was playing music and Patton and all that all day, and with that speaker, it was fine. But it hit the floor. So I don't think it was conspiracy. Hello, B7. Hello, Luther. Let's see. Everything I just wanted to play the music and not talk. All right. Yeah. We used to say about the guy with Verizon, can you smell me now? Here we go. Now you can smell. Oh, yeah. What was that? I can't hear you. Anyway, I want to say something else. There's a song which I can't play because it's copywritten, and it is from the television show The Fugitive, and it is, where is it? Oh, yes, Pete Brugolo, the composer of the Fugitive theme song, not the movie. But it's how I feel about Bellgab being gone, even though it was only gone for about a day. And it's When the Running Stopped. You can find that on YouTube. You look. And great themes. Yeah, well, maybe your ears need to be cleaned. I don't. Hold on. Here you go. Have a bent. I just pulled on the box. Have a bent cotton swab. Just for you. So Monday will be the big day, though. Now, I am not, I want to make it clear, I am not accusing anybody of this. I'm saying this is a possible scenario. How Art Bell got to be sick in the first place, and how he picked that. Because all the stuff I've heard about Heather Wade and Alice Burbank, lesbian orgies, animal sacrifices, drinking of blood, goats being killed, pentagrams, sounds weird to me before I ever said it. I don't believe Art killed Ramona. I think she was asthmatic, and Art went to a hotel in Henderson. There was a paranormal conference there, and they were in their motorhome, and during the night she was gasping for air and died before help could arrive. They accused Art of killing Ramona. I don't think so. Art loved Ramona. And he did get a lot of criticism for less than a year marrying Aaron. But he met Aaron and Ramona knew each other apparently. They had relatives that knew each other. I'm going to give an art a pass on that one. I really don't think he's good. I have had episodes sitting here in this apartment. I had one today on the phone. I'm talking to Kathy and almost my voice goes. But I've had episodes my breathing goes and I start choking almost like I'm choking. So, no, they're not Q-tips. They are generic Walmart cotton swab. No brand name here. Can't afford the brand name. So, it occurred to me, but I've had other issues I've had to deal with. My own health, the heat. When it's 92 degrees, 3 days running, and it's 90 in your apartment, you're lying there like, you're not thinking about calling Nye County. You're not thinking about anything. Goes, I gotta get through this. I'm miserable and I can't sleep. It's too hot. By the way, Kathy says the cats have not come out today, and I've already said she should name the female Boot. She wants to name the male something cute. So let me get up, if you will. Excuse me. Yeah, that's another thing. But remember, if it's not being released, ham radio people are not going to know the reason Art Bell was dead. Now, we could maybe find out from some ham that Art told somebody on ham radio that he wouldn't have told the public because there are less ham radios than there are the general public. They are a tight knit community of the sort. All right. And Art talked on ham radio every night, but it was damn peculiar to me that he does a gabcast. He's dead within a month. Very strange. Okay. Let's see. Tomorrow I go to Red Lobster with Kathy, and it's Friday the 13th, which concerns me, by the way. Because we've had Fridays where everything wrong happens on Friday. Mm. Okay, I'm live. Are you alive? Are you awake? All right. Can you turn that off? All right, I'm live on the air. I'm going to put you on speaker and ask you the first question that people want to know. How are the cats?
Well, I'm happy to say that they're finally eating. I didn't see much food disappear, but I went in there and they're drinking water and food. Only the males come out. He didn't come out when I was there. He just happened to be, he came from out the end of the bed before I saw him. So he was sitting on a table. I went over to him, and he let me pet him, and he started nuzzling my hand, my arm. I haven't seen him since, but
He'll come out. He trusts you now. For him to let you pet him after 2 weeks of being left alone in the apartment is a major deal. Now, why the female is not coming out, I don't understand that. Maybe she's shyer than the male.
yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
Tiny One tiny one was shy when the little pretty little gray and white long-haired one was there, and she always waited for the male, her litter mate, to eat first. She would stay back. And tonight, oh yeah, tonight I tried to pick up Talkie, and Talkie tried to claw my face, little stinker. He was not being a good boy.
Oh, you mean the Siamese one?
Yeah, I tried to hold him, and so.
Yeah, you just look at if we manage to get him fixed. I mean, he looks like such a cute baby.
He is, but I wanted to hold him and kiss him, and he wouldn't let me hold him. He started going to my face, and I put him down, and I put him down, and I grabbed him very gently by the head and tapped him on the nose and said, "You are not being a nice baby. I feed you every day, and you have to be nice to me." Kathy has two. Kathy has two new cats, and I have the. It may. I don't know why the Mac sounds tinny. Of course, if my 1,138 subscribers would all give me $1 a month, I could go buy new equipment. So I think we've decided the female will be Boop. That will be the third Boop that either Kathy or I have had, and I was thinking the male, like maybe Beep or something like that. It would be cute to have something running off the Boop name, but that's up to you. It's your cat.
Someone said I should name them Jack and Jill.
No, we got to name her Boop.
No, but that will make me think about Boop. I don't want to do that.
Oh, okay. Why do you'd want to honor Boop by naming the new one Boop?
Oh, that would make me miss Boop more.
Oh, well.
Boop was the sweetest cat I ever had. I don't want to think about her. I mean, I love her. I miss the time we had together, but I don't know if there could ever be another Boop. And she was exceptional.
All right, I didn't think about it. No, we're not going to name her Art and Heather. Get out of here with that crap. Kathy is not an Art. She has nothing against Art Bell, but she is not an Art Bell fan, and she doesn't know who Heather Wade is from a hole in the ground. So, not going to.
No, you don't name a cat Heather. That's weird. You don't give them the human names. You give them cute, cuddly names.
Well, cats have human names. I had Snooky, Squirt, Teensy Cat.
Yeah, but real people don't have
Trippy,
those names.
Lilyfoot, Monkey, Mouse, Mickey, Minnie, well, you'll have to figure out the name. After 40 years and having 24 cats, that's why I'm calling cats Orangey and Squeakies and Pretty One. I am named out.
I was tempted to, I tell you the truth, I was very tempted to name them Minnie and Mickey, but I thought that might depress you.
No, it wouldn't depress you. I miss Minnie and Mickey. Minnie is still here. I know Minnie is still here. Things are falling of their own volition that shouldn't be falling. Something's in here.
I missed the really, really stinky one you had.
That was Mickey. That was the stinkiest cat ever. I loved him
very much. So cute.
When we took him to the vet before they put him to sleep, he was looking at me. Donald and Daisy. Donald and Daisy.
Yeah, he was pretty young. I mean, he wasn't young, but what was he 10 years old? I don't remember.
About 8, maybe. He was 4 years old. He was kitten when I got him. He might have been about 5 or 6. He just said Daisy and Donald Duck. Daisy is Kathy hates Donald Duck. She always hates Mickey Mouse. But Mickey, I named Mickey because they were 2 little kittens. They were so small they could fit in my hand, and I thought that Minnie was a girl. And Mickey was a black and white short-haired tuxedo cat. Minnie was a little black kitten, and they showed up. They were that big, and their mama cat brought them in, and they were dying. They had a respiratory infection. I dropper fed them and fed them KMR, and I fed them antibiotics. Minnie got. Let me finish speaking, Kathleen. Kathleen, let me finish speaking. For the people that don't know, I'm on the air. Please let me speak. Minnie got run over, and I cried so much I had a respiratory attack, and Kathy had to call the hospital. Mickey developed jaw cancer. He started losing my teeth. But as much as he was a stinker, when I took him to the vet, he sat in my lap and looked at me with adoring eyes. Why am I here? I don't understand. And I started sobbing because I had to put him to death. The vet said it's time. He's in too much pain and he will not survive. He's losing every one of his teeth. But I still feel bad to this day, and I miss him very much.
I have this feeling that he was in a lot of pain because when cats are in pain, they hide. And if Bert tried to run away, she would have crawl under something. And but I'm pretty sure she had cancer.
Well, I had Snooky and Monkey both had cancer. Snooky died of cancer. Monkey sat at my feet all night. His official name was God, I can't remember his official name. But Little Cat was his official name. But he sat at my feet all night, and in the morning I said, "You went out, Monkey?" And he looked at me and he went outside, and I never saw him again. But he was down to about 6 pounds. The same with Snooky. And they didn't smell; they just got thin. And Boop got really thin, right? She'd been a very fat cat.
Yeah, by the way, but she was either 15 or 16.
You're not going to name them Jules and Vern or Arthur and Clark. So that's not after Arthur C. Clarke, which Kathy probably didn't know who he was either. You might know Jules Verne from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Mysterious Island, Master of the Earth, and all that. They made movies out of this stuff.
I'm not really, familiar with it.
The Nautilus. Anyway.
Well,
Disney movie.
Actually, with one movie they've done more than once, Journey to the Center of the Earth. I'm kind of confused about.
That may have been Verne or it may have been Arthur Conan Doyle. I'm not sure.
What I remember is in the 60s, and they tried to make a regular lizard look like a dinosaur, and at one point they got trapped in a giant spider web, the giant spider, and...
Well, they did 2 movies. They did Journey to the Center of the Earth, and they did The Lost World. So one had Pat Boone and Arlene Dahl, and I can't remember anything about The Lost World. But one was based...
I'm confused about those because I was a child when I saw it.
One was based on the story by Arthur Conan Doyle. The other one is based on Jules Verne, but I cannot remember. Rue and Paul. No. Look, she's going to name them cute names, all right? Cute kitty names. Not after somebody in politics, in science fiction. It's up to her. I'll talk to her about it, but I can't think of a name to call them.
I want a name that makes me feel affectionate. Because when I talk to a cat, I admit that I baby talk to him, and that's how it makes me feel comfortable.
No, we're not going to name them Paul after Paul McCartney, nor after Ella Fitzgerald.
No, I'm not going to name them name them. No, I'm not going to name them like that. Oh, you know what?
All right, give me a sample name that you would consider to be cute for the girl. She's shy, so
she looks like. I bet she's all black, but I haven't seen her at all.
Well, what'd she do? Run under the bed the minute she got out of the carrier, and that was it? You haven't seen her?
They went under the bed, but it's funny. She told me the male was the shy one. When he didn't show any fear of me, when he was
Wait a minute. Hold on. Trying to pee them all? What? What does pee have to do with it? Dracula pee them all and take care of them. Well, they have a litter box. No, you're not going to name them Dracula and Pumpkin.
No.
I would not name a cat Dracula. Now, Mickey did have fangs that made him look like a Dracula cat. And she always wanted.
I wanted you to dress him up as a vampire.
Yeah, well, I never did, but I never had the money. Anyway.
Oh, well, I would have gotten the money.
Cats do not have to go out. Look, hold on, I'm going to interrupt you again. These two cats are indoor cats. They do not like to go out. They're not going to go out and pee. Let's drop this discussion, please.
It's not safe here.
Yeah, there's a lot of pit bulls there, and it's not safe for kitties to go outside. So, but we'll.
At least they're eating. I was worried that they weren't eating because they were stressed out, and they've eaten. So I'm happy that.
Well, I know the male is eating, but you haven't seen the female. But she's. How long have they been there now?
About 2 days. That's okay. I don't have a problem waiting.
We're not going to. Okay, I have to keep interrupting. These suggestions are kind of strange. We're not going to name it Cat. We're not going to name it Cat 367 and Kitty number 3 minus less than 3. No Twitter names. Cat didn't even know what Twitter is, right? You're not on Twitter.
I know the symbol. Beyond that, no.
Kathy is. No, Kathy Jr. and George Jr. No, that would be too confusing.
No.
I have never named one of my cats George, or Kathy, because then you'd say Kathy and the cat would come to you. It would confuse the hell out of the cat. It would confuse the hell out of either one of us. We wouldn't know who we were talking to. We're talking to me, you're talking to the cat. You don't want to do that. And it confuses the cat.
Yeah, well, since you like to talk about aliens, I thought something funny where the cartoon Birth of the Alien. He's taking Jonesy the cat to the vet, and another killer, he's got the face hugger, and he has the name written on the carrier. It says Snuggles. So he named the face hugger Snuggles.
That's very
And I thought that was kind of funny. He did it to the vet. I'm thinking, I hope the vet says no thank you. I can't look at him right now because you know what will happen. But the idea for the face of the pet carrier, call it Snuggles.
Yeah, well, first of all, that book is very strange. And second, you're obsessed with aliens, so.
They're being silly.
I wish I had never taken you to that movie. I really hate it when you start talking about aliens.
They did what they did was they tried to make the alien look silly. They drew him in cartoon form and had him do things that a regular person might do, but of course he does it his own way. And he tried to scramble eggs and chew the egg hatch and the things inside run off before we can cook them. And he even puts bunny ears on, and he starts painting the alien eggs in pretty colors, which is.
Well, I thought the bunny ears were funny. Excuse me. I have to answer the question. Art did not kill Heather. That's ridiculous. Heather is quite alive, to the best of my knowledge. Her new show has failed miserably. She has repeats. All right. And I don't know if Heather Wade is going to go to prison or not, because like I said, this is speculation, but it's based on things I was informed of that I tend to believe. I don't know. I don't know if Aldous Burbank did anything or not, but it's damn strange because some told me online that Aldous Burbank was the Art Bell shooter. Well, not the last I heard. The last I heard, she was running repeats, and her show was failing. So, but then I don't pay attention. Kathy, I have to speak. I have to comment on people when they comment on me. I don't pay attention to her stuff because I wouldn't listen to her if the atomic bomb went off and she was the last podcaster on Earth. I wouldn't listen to her. All right, go ahead.
What? You know something? I don't remember you telling me how George Floyd reacted to Arbel's passing. I don't remember.
George Norrie was devastated, as were all true Art Bell fans. We were in shock because, like I said earlier, we're not aware of this. Art went to the hospital, was recovering from emphysema and surgery and COPD, and then suddenly, about a month or 2 months later, he's dead with no warning, just boom. And it's very odd. They have not released the autopsy reports, and Kathy's not aware of this. I don't think I've told her. It's been like since April. This is May, June, going into July.
I know too many people that
Heather, yes, MB is Art Bell. Is Bart L. Sorry, slip of the tongue. Heather's ranked. Heather's ranked. Kathy, Kathy, let me speak. Let me speak. Heather is ranked just below the weather reporting service. That's funny. Go ahead. You have to allow me to reply to chat. I've got people typing. I have to comment on what they're typing.
I'm not talking that much.
No, but you're cross talking when I talk. You have to let me finish. Go ahead.
I told Patty off, or Ratty Patty, whatever, and I told her that just because she's taking care of her granddaughter doesn't mean she shouldn't take time out to call me up. You know, she has the baby all day. You know, I'm sure the entire time was not spent feeding and changing diapers, whatever. So I told her I was mad at her. Well, you insulted me. I said, well, you see, you know, I said, I like talking to you. You won't answer the phone when you've got the baby, which is ridiculous. So, I don't like that. I told her so. Oh, you insulted. Well, then knock it off. Quit doing the behavior that's bugging me. And, you know, a true friend would call you up. I mean, so you've got a baby. Big deal. Made me mad. I like attention. I give attention. I take care of my friends. And I expect to be treated the same way back. So, anyway.
I have a British filter. It's on top of the thing. I have not used it. Kathy said she tried Martinez water, the Brita filter. It didn't help. So I've been drinking this for 12 years. It hasn't killed me yet. So.
You know what? Patty even tried the water here. She didn't like it either. It's really nasty.
Adam Stinson, CIA is using her password to chose to torture terrorists who classified as too cruel. Yeah, you could type it into Gitmo. So yeah, this is something that someone left downstairs from Kaiser to strive on it. Kaiser terminated. It's a big thing of water, you know. I mean, yeah. You told Patty off because she keeps disrespecting you and treating you like dirt, right?
Well, you know, this crap about her taking care of the baby, you know, that's her excuse for not answering her phone. I'm taking care of the baby, and that makes me angry because, you know, she's going to change the diaper a couple times. She has to feed her a couple times.
This baby is the baby is weird. The baby is weird because the baby only sleeps a half an hour at a time. I've never heard that many babies. My sister had 4 babies. I had to watch them. Kathy also, the baby poops a lot. Well, that's normal for a baby, I guess, but.
Yeah, that's you know, I mean, that's.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, but cleaning out a cat box is as close as I want to get to cleaning somebody else's mess. I'm not endeared. Babies don't. The emotional response I get from them is not.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let that go. But 50 years ago, we had cloth diapers, and they were very stinky, and you had to soak them in a pail and then wash the diapers out. And they developed Pampers that freed women from washing out stinky diapers, and it got rid of the diaper delivery service. They've come back, actually.
Yeah, but then everybody complains about how these disposable diapers are messing up the environment. You can't win.
Bitch. Oh, look, I'm going to let you go. Let me know if the girl cat comes out, all right? And I will see you tomorrow. We're going to Red Lobster. Yay! I did not get to Walmart tonight, so I'll just buy you some cans and go to Target. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye-bye. All right, there's Kathy. So Drone and I did a podcast. We did 3 or 4 episodes called The Cat Box. So, and sadly, he did not save those episodes. They are lost to history. He had them on a server, and he wouldn't pay the $5 a month to keep them going. And I don't have recordings of them. So, but he kept going into sexual subjects and talking about poop, and I really got more and more angry every episode, and then I found I can't do this anymore. I don't want to be talking. You want to talk about poop beyond Bellgab and talk about they were obsessed with poop on the Gab. I don't want to talk about poop. But one thing Patty does to Kathy, she takes her out for dinner, and then she makes Kathy pay for her own meal. And I think that's wrong. You go out with your friend, you treat them to dinner. You don't make them pay for their own food. And one meal oh God, they're my things. Come on. One meal now everything's wrong. She went out with Kathy, and then Kathy ate. Kathy was still hungry, and Patty said, "I'm not going to buy you anymore. You have to pay for it yourself." So that was wrong too. I have treated Kathy and other people to dinner, and not once did I ever say, "You want anything else?" They'd say, "Sure," and I'd buy it. God damn it! I've got too much stuff piled up in this hallway. All right, you asked that, and well, first of all, I left several comments. Would you please stop typing so I can answer? I left several comments to Michael Vera on his broadcast where he talked about criminality with Heather Wade. Apparently, he's blaming Keith Rowland, but I wasn't quite clear on that. And I don't know if he's blaming MD or not. I got no response. So I don't have his email. I don't know who I barely know who he is. So he has not contacted me. I wrote him comment. I would not have contacted him. I barely know who he is. People say, "Have you listened to Michael Vera?" And I said, "Who the hell is Michael Vera?" So I know one thing: he's a pissed off podcaster because he got thrown off a dark radio network. I take that back. I think he did accuse Keith Rowland of criminality as well, and there was fraud and money misappropriated. But I kept getting interrupted that night with phone calls, so I never did listen to the whole show. The problem with a podcast, if I did it without calls, where just like Abram or Jeremy and I talk, that'd be great. But calls, how do I screen out the trolls? And you know they're going to come in. Every time I've been on 4 podcasts with calls, and it was nothing but, for the most part, character assassination. So. Well, he may know who I am, but he sure ain't writing me. Everybody else knows who the hell the guy from Pittsburgh is. JC was unique. I wouldn't consider JC a troll. JC was funny. I would give a bat. Look, if JC called me right now on my phone, I'd put him on the air. Mr. Senda, how oh, my voice is shot for that. Mr. Senda, how dare you? How dare you say that about Art Bell? I don't think he was murdered. I think he killed himself or something like that. JC was funny. Kat returned JC, and she thought he was funny. She was like, it was very, very weird. I can't get. I write George. I send him news stories and all that, and I get no answers. George is busy. Or it may be he and Tommy have decided not to talk to me. George has said we're still friends, but I made a suggestion that I go to the network, and I went to Alien Con. I would love the film premiere, and Tom said, no, we're not going to do that. George has filmed himself with guests in the hallway, but I'm not allowed to do that. So, yeah, I would love to do a podcast with anybody if they're respectful. They don't start saying, I beat my girlfriend, I killed my first girlfriend, I killed cats, I killed my parents, all of which are lies. This is the kind of crap that's been on Bellgab for 10 years. And this is why I'm so glad that's gone, even though the MD turned and made it Bellgab. It won't live long. No, he doesn't work in Burbank. He works in Sherman Oaks, which is up the road from somewhere. I forget where it is exactly. What I will do is wait till we have a car and we're going to Vegas, and during the day, and we'll take a trip down to Southern California because it's on the way to Vegas. I know where. I will see if I can be seen by George Norrie at the network. Then if they say no, you can't see him, then I'm done. There's no point in even trying. Or I can pay for one of his seminars where he sings and has people there who pay $90 to see him and tell them I want a ticket. I want a seat in the front row. But I had the map exact. I know exactly how to get to Sherman Oaks to the headquarters from Union Station. You take the light rail, and then you take a bus, and you're there. And there's a Best Western right across the street. So if I were to go there, I'd stay overnight in the Best Western. I know where George eats. He's talked about it, and go to the deli or something and just wait for him to go have lunch. But I know when George has dinner, he's told me. All right, let me write that down. So I can get a pen with it. I need to find a piece of paper. Okay. Can't read my own writing. Still can't read my own writing. Got to print it. And let me write down Michael Vera. And I'll do some research tonight and see if I can get a hold of either one of these people. Well, I listen to KFI on occasion. I don't know where they're hanging out, but I've listened to them. I have no idea where KFI is. Big news station, but it did run. I don't know if it still runs coast to coast or not. Here's the bottle that screws it from various things I've torn down. I was going to go over Monday and pick up my monitor, but I have to go on Tuesday because I forgot the AT&T guys there. They'll be here Monday. So I would love to do a podcast with someone else. Like Kathy said to me, she got mad at Patty Park because Kathy is lonely. And I get lonely. I would love to interact. I mean, Auburn, I was very happy that he was here today. I got to talk to a person in my apartment. I have nobody come here but Kathy and the cats and the raccoon. iHeartRadio and Premiere. I think Premiere owns iHeart, but iHeart declared bankruptcy, so that's interesting. KFI, the Premier Radio headquarters and George Norrie are in Sherman Oaks. They are not in Burbank. George Norrie broadcasts from the headquarters of Premier, as far as I know, because he said he goes to lunch nearby. So, yeah, Alex Jones would know all. Remember, he said that the left were going to start an insurrection on July 4th. I'm still looking, and I'm still looking for the Black Lives Matters. That idiot, what the hell was he doing? Randall Venice said Black Lives Matter. He's going to pick in my apartment. Well, my psychic ability is come and go. It isn't all the time, but I do pick up on things from time to time. So, and I want to know what's with everybody growing beard. But I'm growing a beard for a reason I can't go into. Matthias is growing a beard, and Alex Jones is growing a beard. Are beards in now? Are we back to the 1860s and Grant and Lincoln growing beards? And Sherman? I've never done outlines very well. When Drone and I did the podcast, we talked about things we were going to talk about beforehand, and I made about 5 fake commercials. One for a brand of underwear that was real underwear, some other things. And that was fun, but it was also work. And I made up the fake brand of kitty litter. I did a commercial for kitty litter. So, okay, I've watched a little Joe Rogan. Little tiny bit, but I can't remember. My problem is I watch so much stuff. Today, Auburn was here, and we were talking about uranium, and he said there, and I said, yeah, I saw that, but I didn't look at the video. And there is a video out there how to process uranium in your home. You're going like, I don't want to process no uranium. So, there's one I watched there that was kind of funny, and who knew? These two guys on the side of 680 here, and or 280. I think it was 680, but it might have been 280. At 3 in the morning, they're out there with a broom and dustpan. They're sweeping up dirt, and they said the reason they're doing that is that catalytic converters start bleeding off little bits of platinum as the cars go by, and they actually refined all this down and gave formulas and everything. And they got a bead of platinum out of the dirt, so that. Well, George has talked that he eats lunch around the corner from Premier. So I'm assuming they're broadcasting the same place. Maybe your information is right and I'm not, but he talked about going to lunch one day and he could not go to lunch because at the top of the gutter of the luncheonette, the deli, there was a hornet's nest, and the owner of the deli had the door locked because the hornets were swarming. It was like the swarm. And he couldn't go have his lunch at the deli. So if he has lunch there and then he has dinner at the network, because he's told me he has dinner at the network, it wouldn't make sense to have lunch in Sherman Oaks and drive to Burbank. Now, I don't know where the hell Burbank is. Only thing I know about Burbank is it's the home of NBC. So, and I don't know if Tim Conway's son talks to Nori or not. I think Nori's had him on. I'm not nervous. What are they going to do to me? You know, uh, believe me, if what I said would happen to be true, they got a lot more to worry about than George Senda, because this will be published, and if they're smart, they'll get out of Dodge. So, last I heard, NBC is still a television network. They have I can never remember who's who, Jimmy Kimmel or the other Jimmy. I can't keep track of which Jimmy is on ABC and which Jimmy is on NBC. I watch Conan. So I don't watch CBS at all. They got rid of my guy that I loved, Craig Ferguson. They brought some heavy set English guy on there. I did James Cordell, I believe, but I don't find him very funny. And I will not watch that other guy who was on the Comedy Network that wasn't a comedy show, Stephen Colbert, arch leftist and liberal. So I will contact Michael Vera at the conclusion of this broadcast. I did not know the Carson building was sold. There's a great video. Actually, there's two great videos. There's Steve Allen, Frank Sinatra, Rosemary Clooney, Dinah Shore, Steve Lawrence, Edie Gourmet, Frank Sinatra, all singing "This Could Be the Start of Something Big" in the NBC studios in 1959 when Steve was on the air. And another guy did a video comparing looking then and now to what the studio looked like 50 years later or so. So, well, if someone comes here with a gun, I do have things to protect myself. And if all else fails, if push comes to shove, I'll do the best to take them out before they take me out. So, but Heather Wade's in Nevada. Michael Vanver even is in Missouri. Of course, I know if they stole $2 million, they could probably hire a hitman. But that's money. If it did go to terrorism, it probably is all spent already on weapons and stuff. One thing I keep by the door is cans of Raid. If I can get to the Raid, spray them in the face. There ain't unless you're not gonna be doing anything. You're spraying with bug spray. Uh, I have known enough cats. I can sense good kitties from bad kitties. Wouldn't work. Good night, Luca. I know bad animals too, so it's just my sense. I'm not. I'm using this quote. Spidey sense would go off, and Fuzzy is a very protective little cat. She knows when animals are good and bad. She reacts. So I'm not worried about them hiring a hitman. I really think if they're being investigated, they're going to probably know they're being investigated. And I can't wait till I find that SSD drive again. I've already looked into several more um, computer repair folk with Macs and PCs to come out here. As soon as I have the money, I get that laptop investigated, and I will file charges against Michael Walker. if it was full of viruses. So, no, I'm not going to hire a hitman. You know what? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. If you're MV, if I was told by the Missouri authorities if he infected my laptop and he sent it to Missouri, he committed a cyber crime in Missouri. And if he went to prison, I'm not going to worry about his children. I'm going to feel sorry for the kids, but I'm not worried about his children because the man deserves to be in jail. And I saw evidence on my laptop, not my laptop, evidence on my Mac and my iPad, screens moving by themselves, screens changing. And this was the laptop that was stolen. Not the laptop, the tablet, the iPad. But screens were changing on my Mac while I was sitting in front of the computer and I wasn't touching anything. That's not normal in a Macintosh. No, I haven't. I've had a lot of health issues this year, and dealing with Alien Con took up a lot of my time. So I would have to go over to San Francisco and talk to someone at the FBI, but they're going to want some kind of proof, which is why I have to take the laptop, find the SSD drive, turn it back on, and then pay the. I got a guy who said he'd come out here for $50, but there's something else. I want to take this router. Where I find the power supply, and I have two of them, two airport extremes, and the iPad mini, which is heavier than this. You can see the difference in sizes here. And I want to take any Mac, and I want to take this laptop and take all the junk off the computer table and put the Westinghouse up there. Get another HDMI cable. There, you can get a DVI HDMI adapter and cable and put the Westinghouse TV up there. Or, unfortunately, there is not a 15-foot power cord for even with the extender to run it to my Sony. But I want to make a full wireless networking. It's not internet jokes. It is cybercrime to control someone else's computer by infecting it. And he had the program Time Runner on there, and the company told me that since he was the administrator on the laptop, once it was connected to my computer, that he could control my computer. And I saw nude pictures of me that came off my computer on the internet. You're right, something went wrong. So it's not internet jokes on a laptop. This is a campaign of 10 years of character assassination, libel, slander, threats. I had threats from 3 people on Bellgab to kill me. But I will say something with locking the screen door and talking to Fluffy. I will say something that Michael Vera has made these accusations against Heather and Keith Rowland. And since MD and Heather are tied in, I think MD and Heather would have more to worry about than just me. You don't understand. Pay attention, there will be a test at the end of the hour. Now, I talked to the police. Drone was supposedly coming here to kill me. Little Chris is threatened to kill me, and one other person on Randall Vetta's threatened to have me killed, also to have me raped, and to rape Kathy. And they said we can't do anything unless they actually try to do something. Making a threat on the internet is not illegal. It should be. Now, it is illegal in Maine. It is illegal in Missouri. Well, they're going to say, do you have proof? And I'm going to say, not direct proof. And they're going to have to want to talk to me. And I don't have that proof anymore because I leave the email. So, now, I'm not going to say this again, folks. Pay attention, please. Bardell and MB are the same person. His real name is not Michael Van Verveven or Van Deven or Vanderven or whatever the hell it is. It's Michael Walker. Why would someone go on the internet and tell lies? They do it all the time. Why did CNN lie about Donald Trump? Why does PBS, why does NBC, CBS, ABC lie about Donald Trump? Why do comedians lie about Donald Trump? Because they can. Until their lies are proven. Well, the police here said there's nothing to charge him with. It's not a direct thing. Now, I can do other things to him, and I'm not going to go into that. I have to have money. $200, I could shut Bellgab down, and I could have shut Bellgab down. I don't have $200. This is why I get upset that my subscribers won't donate money to me. It's not just to help the cats. It's not just to buy me equipment. It's to fight some of this crap. You do a DCMA takedown. There are edited videos. There are pictures taken from my videos. And even though they're not copyright registered, I still have the copyright of them under the law. And for instance, little Chris started a store on Cafe Press. He used images of me and Kathy on merchandise. He stole some of my merchandise and was selling it or trying to sell it as his merchandise. He no longer has a store on Cafe Press. Well, the Martinez police don't seem to know the internet laws. There's a company that once they investigate, they will do DCMA takedowns. It's $200 per offense. And I said, the problem is there's offensive all over the place. Casio, Robert Robinson III, has used excerpts from my videos. There's a channel on YouTube called George Senda, where it's heavily edited stuff in my videos to make it sound like I'm not saying anything. I have complained bitterly to YouTube. Part of the other thing I need to do, and I haven't had the time or the energy because I've had a lot of health issues, my sinus infection this year. I have to go back. It was all on my computer, but that's dead now, or at least the hard drive went out. I have to contact the attorneys for Yahoo, for Google, for Bing, for YouTube, and file a DCMA takedown complaint on every site that uses my videos, including YouTube, Bellgab, Lgab, and WordPress, because little Chris has a site on WordPress. But WordPress told me they would not remove little Chris's so-called George Senda fan page, which is not a fan page at all. It's a lies and slander page, unless they got a federal court order to remove it. Now, they were selling nude pictures of me on the dark web. And we will not do this Jew lawyer crap. All right? So, Jace Connors, you're out of here. Bye. I happen to be Jewish, and this is not something you say. So, goodbye. They came off of my computer. When it's hot in here, I'm on the nude. I'm nude. And also, at one time, I left the camera on, and there was a picture of me from the waist up without my shirt on. And MB said to me on the phone, literally, I would never publish that of yours. It accidentally went out to him. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, I find it on Bellgab. And if you look up George Senda pictures, there's pictures of me. They photoshopped those pictures of me with no shirt on. No, I did not have nude pics on my computer of me. So don't start that. I was told by multiple sources that nude videos of me and pictures were being sold on the dark web, and maybe on 4chan. There's a lot of stuff about me on 4chan. 6-week tenure told me he found some of this stuff. I don't know. I have a feeling it was someone from Bellgab. Because someone who was on Bellgab who claimed she worked in DMV went down to the Starbucks and took photographs of the Starbucks knowing I hang out there. And if they have a car, it's very easy to show up here and walk in when I'm sleeping and steal my other iPad. There's another thing. For about a month, and I got told by Randall Venice that people were following me. And I would be walking to the bus stop, from the bus stop at night, or something, and cars started stopping in the middle of the street. And that's not abnormal. People stop and look for directions. They pick people up. But when I walk down the streets here nearby, they would stop and would not move for 10 minutes, and they were tinted windows. You could not see into the cars. And then I would watch them, and then suddenly they would turn and drive away, and that happens a lot. I think someone was keeping tabs on me. That hadn't happened in a while, but it did happen. How much all this stuff on Bellgab is not true, I don't know. I have no way of knowing. But I suspect a lot of it is true. Remember, some of these guys, excuse my language, batshit crazy. They're not only trolls, they're stalkers. Some of them are probably child molesters. I don't have any way of proving that, but this particular person who claimed she was an official at the DMV went down to Starbucks. I saw the pictures. They were sent to me, and she took pictures of it. One night, the Starbucks had the door broken, but the odd thing, it was broken from the inside with the door locked. And this person said, I went down to Starbucks to see you, but you weren't there. But here are the pictures I took of the door. Did you break the door? And call me a name? So But I did a video one morning of terrorism, and the news broke about 4 in the morning, and I stayed up till 6, as I do, looking for all the links and putting all the links, not only the newspaper links, but news videos and news stories and YouTube links, live links, and I went to bed about 6:30, really tired, and it was very hot that night. It was 80 or 90 in here at 4 in the morning, and this happened about 4:15. And I woke up at 9 o'clock. I briefly woke up a little earlier, but went back to sleep. And at 9 o'clock, I fully woke up, got up, made a cup of coffee, went back to the bed, said I better check my iPad. The charging cable was stretched out, and it was gone. Someone, and my screen door was broken. Friday. This is Monday morning, and the news story was 4:30 in the morning, Monday morning, and someone walked in here and stole my iPad, and I found a Mavericks menthol cigarette on the floor. I don't smoke. Kathy doesn't smoke, and I don't have anybody who any years ever smoked. That was in the carpet in front of my sofa. And then some guy who was in Tennessee who apologized. He sent me a fake. He sent me a real iPad box. It was full of cardboard with a pack of cigarettes in it. He apologized. So I've been harassed by people. I got one guy, probably the same guy, sent me pornography. So, yeah, Yorkshire Pub was publishing pictures. And I don't know what Douglas Dietrich said, but Douglas Dietrich has said publicly on Coast that the Japanese had submarines and were carrying an atomic bomb to Los Angeles and to Hawaii, and that's when we signed a peace treaty with them in 1945 and formally in 1950. And Douglas Dietrich is nuts and wrong. Well, there are weird people at Amtrak. But, if you're going to stalk somebody, you have to know when they're going to be there. And I have seen weird people at the bus stop in Oakland in years past who had a screwdriver in their pocket and they weren't happy to see me and they never got on a bus and I think they were robbers. So, I had three guys try to rob me, one in my own apartment, but one coming home late at night with my groceries. So, you can take certain steps to protect yourself. I don't always take the same route to go to Amtrak or to go to the bus. I do on some occasions, but if I really thought I was in danger, I would change my habits. Yeah, everybody knows where I live, but well, the problem is I got a felony record from 1972. I don't know if I can get a gun because you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to own a gun. So until I get the money to get myself pardoned, and that's something like $1,000, then I can't own a gun. Auburn and I talked about this. I said, what I need is an automatic crossbow. Burglary. A friend of mine in Los Angeles. This was when I was not new to fandom, but young and naive still. He was giving me a ride around town when he was a member of the Lost List, and I had all brand new credit cards, and he said, I'll drive you around. And one night he goes, my brakes are going out. It's going to cost me $1,000 to fix them. And being a nice guy, I said, okay, I'll put up my card. When are you going to pay me back? And he said, oh, I get paid in 2 weeks. I'll pay you back in 2 weeks and I get paid. Well, he didn't tell me at the time, and I didn't know what those were back then. He worked for a multi-level marketing company. And 2 weeks came by. He got my money. He said no, and he kept giving me excuses. I went to his house. I stole his comic book collection. I sold it to a comic dealer for $250, got arrested. And as for the Hells Angels, I'd have to go to Oakland. I'm broke right now, so I'm going out with Kathy tomorrow. I'm going to San Francisco on Monday, but I don't feel like walking in the heat across Lake Merritt to go to the Hells Angels headquarters. I'll do it when I have money. But it costs money to take BART to Oakland, then take the bus up to Lake Merritt. I am not going to walk. They're on their headquarters on International Boulevard, and I'm not in contact with Sonny Barger, the former president. They have to go in there hat in hand and ask to speak to their president and explain why. They'd probably look at me funny. Well, that's another thing. I trip over the vacuum cord here. There's enough stuff in here that falls that I trip over. Someone comes in here, they're not going to walk in and not tip over something, knock over something, or whatever. Abram is the only sure-footed person ever. Kathy's always tripping over stuff in here. There's 2 bags of cans and bottles. 2 there, 1 there. I can barely go in the kitchen right now. So this place is crowded. The kitties would protect me, but Fluffy's outside, little girls outside, Fuzzy's in the bedroom. I'm really not worried about it because, like I said, when this comes out, they're already under attack by Michael Vera. And if they are under suspicion by the Nye County sheriffs and the Nye County DA and Nevada state authorities, then they're not going to go after me. I am not a member of Hell's Angels. I was a friend of Sonny Barger back in the day, and I'm not going to go into the details. So I am not a loser. Alien Pilot, I'm removing that comment. Any further comments saying I'm a loser, you'll get banned and you'll get blocked from my email. I suspect you're really Damon Lake. So, but Heather Wade, the last of my knowledge, is living in Art Bell's former guest house. She paid $90,000 for it, and I've been sent the tax records to that effect saying when this sale occurred. She's living in Nevada. I used to know someone who lived in Merced or around there. Stockton, Merced, Modesto. I'm trying to track her down. It's a former roommate that I really liked. We were friends. She disappeared. And it's in that general area. But Mr. Barger, I think he had a bout with cancer and he's been ill. I always call him Mr. Barger out of respect for him. And the Hells Angels of the time appreciate it. And they now have a new president, and their past president died within the last few years. So if I go to the international organization in Oakland on International Boulevard and express my condolences and say I would like to talk to your current president, explain why, Mr. Barge always said if I get into trouble to go to him or the organization and they would take care of the problem. And when that happened, I had no criminal record as an adult, and I know what a 1%er is. So when it's time to quit with that line of a conversation because you insulted me. No, I never had. I won't go into the details. Those I keep quiet. But the people there liked me. I was 16 or 17 or 18. So, ridden a motorcycle once in my life, and I could not figure out how to lean right with my friend and just about killed both of us. So motorcycles are not for me unless it has a sidecar. You did. So I'm going to hide you in this channel. Goodbye. And you ask, are you a loser? That's an insult. And when I get done with this broadcast, I will go and block you. You're actually probably the famous troll, Damon Lake area, whatever it was, something pilot and whatever. Yeah, well, you ride a Honda, motorcycle gangs do not like you. You have to ride on a Harley. They'll give you a pass. You ride an Indian, but that's about it. Honda, Suzuki, any of those little kiddie bikes, they ain't gonna talk. And by the way, there's a with some very rough looking folk here in Martinez. One, two, three, four, five, 6 blocks here is a Harley dealership. So, and there's some tough guys. The tough guy run the place. He's very nice, but there's some tough guys that go in there, and there's a lot of Harley owners that show up downtown on Friday nights. I would not mess with any of them, and there are guys wearing their colors. So I leave them alone. They leave me alone. I don't mess with them. I don't make any comments on them about them. I say hello, how you doing, and that's about it. But you do not disrespect those guys. They would take umbrage and kick the crap out of you. I give them respect, and I know that you do not mess around. And there are other gangs other than the Hell's Angels in this area too. There are other groups. I won't call them a gang. They're incorrect, but there are other motorcycle clubs other than the Hell's Angels, and accordingly, I am not going to mess or get into trouble with any of them. But I see them riding in multiple motorcycles going down the street, covering the entire area of the street as I'm walking along. So, and I cannot remember the name. There's a gang in Oakland or San Francisco that are enemies of the Hells Angels. They got into big fights. So, but I can't remember the name of the organization or the group. The club. I keep using gang. I'm sorry. I shouldn't use it. So that's the things we work with. Bikers don't take kindly to give them a bunch of crap. And I don't give them any crap. Respect them for what they are and leave them alone. Respect them for what they are and leave them alone. I would love them to go and take care of a few people. And by the way, the Hells Angels, I don't know about anybody else, any other motorcycle club, they absolutely hate child molesters. And if it's ever in my power to take care of a certain person, I would do it. But I won't mention any names. But somebody, are you a loser? That's an insult. And when I was involved with the club, I was never called a loser by anybody. They liked they normally would not like somebody who wear a three-piece suit and carried a briefcase because my mother dressed me. But then Michael J. Fox on his show wore a three-piece suit and carried a briefcase. So that's how I went to school every day wearing a suit. But one day I finally said enough, and I got beat up for wearing a suit. All right, now we've ended that. The chat has died, so all right. Somebody say something, or I'm going to stop because this is going off into a dead end, so to speak. By the way, lately I've cut down here. This is my legal grounds coffee paste. Guess that was too much for this whole stack of. I gotta move this stack of stuff. I cut down to 2 cups a day, so that was from 3 pots. Used to be 3 pots of coffee. 3 12 ounce, 320, 12 cup. I think that thing holds 12 cups of coffee. I drank 36 cups of coffee. A lot of coffee. And by the way, that alien is off because he puts too much glare in this camera. Oh, that was his handle, his other handle. C337 Pilot, Damon Lake, Mr. Stock on Bellgab. Major troll. The guy that twice said he would pay to interview me and then was full of crap. And he hangs out with Bardell and Rally Squirrel and Squirrel to death. So, I think I will take a moment, if you don't mind, to get a cup of coffee. I have a whole lot of coast to coast and caravan to midnight on this computer, and I need to get rid of it. So, where is? Well, I wish we would stop playing that. Oops. I have other songs on here, but for some reason, the thing I'm using is not putting them in my playlist. And figured out why. Excuse me a moment. It's time to make some coffee. Well, Bardell is MD, so I would love to see him. Actually, I'd love to see him have a cellmate named Bubba. And I don't mean Bill Clinton. He deserved it. Let me see if I can get this one. Hey, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do the one I just added, and you're not there yet. Why are you doing? Hello, Justin. If the truth rolls out, and if authority is willing to rescue. Remember, if I find that hard drive and I find that laptop in Texas, Missouri authorities have told me they will arrest Michael and cast him in the front. They will charge him with cyber crime under Missouri law, and they will still out. If I had a way to go after Robert Robertson, the Maine authorities said if you find a way, you find any way we can charge him, we will charge him with cybercrime. So imagine, MB goes to jail, Cassio goes back to jail, he's already an ex-convict. The two cockroaches at the same time. So I'm going to actively have Abram or Kathy help me find that hard drive. tech come out. He gets a written report. Majority police said they'll charge him with cybercrime under Missouri law. Nothing else. He'll have to spend some of that bulky forum money on an attorney. Sorry, I'm getting hungry. This morning I made a mistake. I fried chicken franks and later on they attacked me. So alien pilot writes me all the time, when is the next live stream? But don't come and insult me. Are you a loser? Excuse me, are you an asshole? If, as Michael Vera says, there was financial irregularities with the Dark Matter radio network, if he was forced off of there by the actions of Heather Wade, you keep going, I hope he goes after it. They were committing crimes, they deserved to go to jail. There were conspiracies, they deserved to go before justice to charge those crimes. One person wrote an email, his conclusions are pretty weak. I said, I don't know, they sounded pretty logical to me. So, another thing about this building, it is regularly patrolled by the police, day and night. We get a lot of cops going down the street. They're only 2 blocks away. That's another reason I'm not that concerned. Someone comes in here and tries to attack, I'll start throwing stuff at them. Stop them. All right, this is barbecue chicken with mixed vegetables. And something underneath it, which I have no idea what it is. I think it's potatoes. I'm not sure. Little tiny diced potatoes. And green beans, carrots, and corn. And that is very hot. So, yeah, once we have our car, on the weekends, I'd definitely not be in this apartment. I'll probably go out during the week 2 or 3 times a week with Kathy. So, just a matter of time. If we haven't gotten a car by the 1st of November, God help us, we'll have $6 grand, then we can buy any Prius out. I should have my own car by next year. And if it came down to driving regulations versus my life, I'd drive the damn car the hell out of here. Well, you seem to be the only person here. Now we'll discuss with Abram, being my weapons expert, what weapons I can get that would not be a gun, but use to protect myself. But it's hard to get past that edge of the sofa bed, even for Abram. Someone comes in there, they're going to trip. Well, they made this chicken into one giant piece of chicken. It's hard to cut. Tear it up. Use the knife, but I'm being lazy. Looking forward to Red Lobster. Then I might get to see the kitties. Also, to remind you, for 10 years, people knew where my mother lived, and I went to my mother's a lot. Nobody ever bothered me there either. So. I'm sure on Bellgab they'll have lots to talk about after this broadcast. He did. He asked me if I was a loser. Okay? So, for the purposes of chat, I can see everything on the screen rather clearly because I have a very large LED bulb of light next to my computer. Don't start on me saying I didn't see what I saw. It's not proper English, maybe, but I know what I read. All right. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mr. Bell. I canceled my eye doctor appointment. Some crazy woman came out here and started doing stuff. Throwing stuff at the balcony. And started doing stuff. Throwing stuff at the balcony. So I know what I read. I don't make it up. Ooh. Hello. Ooh. No. Hold on, let me put you live. We're all going over here. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to eat, so you talk.
One of the cats was at the bottom of the cat tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I can't tell them apart yet because they're both black. The other one was eating food.
Well, good.
Yeah. But
They
as soon as
are
I got up to
the
I
cat
got up
tree.
to the phone, I came back in, and guess what? Back under the bed.
Well, look. They came out. They came out into the living room. That's where the cat
No,
tree
not
was.
the living room. No, in the bedroom.
I thought the cat tree was in the
Cat
living room.
tree is in the bedroom.
Oh.
Because I want them, now I leave the bedroom door open. I leave it open enough so if they want to explore, they can come out.
Well, look. The fact that one of them was on the cat tree is a good sign. They are exploring the apartment. The bed is their safe area. If they get frightened or they see you, oh my God! Remember, Fluffy and little girl still run in terror, even when Fluffy follows me on the balcony. Today he sat there and looked up the balcony, and I said, Fluff, what are you looking at? There was no one there, but he was staring at something he saw on the balcony. There was no cat there, there was no human there, but he kept staring down the balcony. I don't know what he's seeing. Maybe he's seeing a ghost. I don't know.
I don't know. Fluffy he is the most skittish cat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Fluffy,
does he run away from his own shadow?
maybe.
I wonder.
I love Fluffy. He's very sweet. And the little girl gets frightened of the slightest movement. So both of them are skittish. Fuzzy is not skittish.
That's the one that shows Buffy Petter.
Yeah.
She's really sweet. Yeah, well, I got this great book for anybody who loves cats called Chicken Soup for the Cat Lover's Soul.
I hate to tell you something about that book.
It's not yours.
I didn't say that. I lent you that book years ago and you never got back.
Well, okay. I don't, I'm confused. There's another cat book. Okay, this one is called Chicken Soup for the Cat Lover's Soul. I don't think it's the exact same one because I remember.
Well, when I see the book, when I come over, I'll know if it's the same one. It may not be the one I gave you, but there is a Chicken Soup series of books, and the one I lent you was Chicken Soup for the Cat Lover's Soul. You borrowed it and disappeared.
There's more than one. I'm positive that there's more than one book about cats.
They cannot name it that title because of trademark.
No, but whoever puts out the Chicken Soup books, I know there is another book.
You cannot call
cats. They call it something else. They call it like Cat Angels or something else.
Yeah, well, there's Cat Angels written by
written by the same company.
Excuse me. There's a guest on Coast. He writes about the paranormal. Cat angels. He writes horse angels, dog angels, baby angels, and his name has escaped me now. But you cannot do trade. You can't call a book "Dummies for Cats" or "Cats for Dummies."
No, but I think, I've seen these
Excuse me.
chicken soup books before, and I know there is more than one about cats. I don't remember the title, but there's at least one book about cats. And this is, I think they came out with one. It was a cat lovers. It said cat angels or something. I think when we write about animals, they usually put out more than one book. The book you're talking about, I wish I don't know if I've got storage or whatever, but I would like to find an extra copy because it showed cats being heroes, which is, uh, you know, very rarely do people, refer to cats, being helpful. It's always, oh, my dog did this, my dog did that. Nobody gets credit to the cat. And in this one book that I read, similar to this one, it told about how a cat saved this woman's toddler from a rattlesnake. And it went into the room where D-Child was sleeping, and it was facing off. It didn't kill it, but it was facing off a rattlesnake. And it was trying to, get it to leave the room, and trying to, it was trying to get it to leave the room, and the boy was waking up, but he was old enough to be walking.
Oh, by the way, this book I'm talking about is called Chicken Soup for the Cat Lover's Soul. And there's a whole series of soul books with chicken soup in the title.
Right. I don't know. I was wondering who started that.
I have no idea. All I know, they made they're very popular. All right, they have a new copy, and for the Cat Lover's Soul, an orange kitty. It looks like orangey. And they have another one. I can't believe I did that. One that looks like Fuzzy, and my very good, very bad cat. The cat really did that. Another chicken, different covers, 3 different covers. My very good, bad dog. The cat did what? So that's 5 different pet lovers' soul, cat and dog lovers' soul. There's 5 or 6 different titles, all using chicken soup and soul.
I thought they had one that said cat angels.
All right, hold on. I'm looking at Amazon. Give me a moment. I have to erase all this. Now, Brad Steiger came out with Cat Angels, Baby Angels, Santa Christmas stories of the ghosts. And hold on, now angels are very popular. All right. Oh, Pook. Hold on. Oh, there's a little cat angel you can put in your garden. It's a memorial thing. You can put your memorial for your cat. It's a little statue. Hold on a minute. All right, cat angels. Cat angels, Jeff Rogan. Angel cats, divine messengers of comfort. I may have that in my collection. I'd have to look. By Alan Anderson and Little Anderson. For every cat, an angel. Angel cat. Confessions of an angel cat. But Angel Cat Sugar Birthday Party Surprise. That's different. And the big coloring book of angel cats. But that's not what I expected. Let me hold on. Could have sworn Brad Steiger wrote a book about. could have sworn Brad Steiger wrote a book about cat aid. Angel Tail cat aid. Angel Tales of Winged Warriors. That's interesting. All right, hold on. Martin Caden wrote a book about pilots and ghosts. Okay, Cat Miracles. That's what Cat's Incredible. I was close. Mysteries of Animal Intelligence. That's the books he's written. But I'm sure they're out there. I don't know what you got there.
Well, the one I have, it has a long-haired old cat with big green eyes. And long fur. He has the cutest face.
Happy birthday, but I don't tell people to go to other people's channels because it's kind of advertising their channel and taking away from mine. So I don't know what Jesse Barrios talks about. He wants people to subscribe to his channel. Go take a look. That's the best I can do. So it came out in the cat tree. That's exciting.
Yeah,
Just one?
Well,
Hello? Hello? You have to answer my question before you continue. Just one cat, right?
What, just one cat, what?
Was it one cat on the tree or two? Were they both
just
out?
One.
And what was the other? You said one of them was eating.
Right.
So there were two cats.
Right.
Okay.
And of course, when I came back in the bedroom, they disappeared again.
Well, give them time.
I love it, I don't have a problem with giving them time. Have you ever had a cat that was unbelievably playful? I mean, got into everything?
Mickey.
Him?
Yes.
Oh,
how many times I yell at Mickey? Mickey, don't do that. Mickey, stop that. He was a stinker. He also liked to do one thing that, oh, by the way, I have to clip Fuzzy's claws. She likes to jump on the bed when I'm not wearing anything, and she has cut the hell out of my legs in several places with her claws. Mickey had a problem he had that drove me crazy. He liked to bite my feet when I was sleeping and claw my feet. That hurts. Like I said, I miss him very much. He was my baby, but he was also the stinkiest cat I've ever owned, and I've had 24 cats.
Yeah, well, this woman had a Siamese kitten, and she said that she emptied the salt bowl, and patty cake in the toilet, sparkle balls soaked in the water bowl, and then she would drop them in her shoes. Write it, post-it note messages were stalked, stolen, and killed. Coffee pods, stuffing cups, and buying pot dipping and shaking. But she liked the fax machine. When it would ring, she would go in the fax machine and she would jump on all the buttons and said, there was, some very, one of the stories, this woman, she had 3 cats, one of them passed on, and she was very, one of the stories, this woman, she had 3 cats, one of them passed on, and she was very sad. And one of the other cats started picking flowers out of the garden and dropping them at her feet for about 3 months. And one of the other cats started picking flowers out of the garden and dropping them at her feet for about 3 months. And when she finally got over being sad about the cat, he stopped doing it and he never did it again. But for 3 months, when she was crying, he would pick flowers.
I have a question to ask you.
Yes.
If someone asks you, "Are you a loser?" Is that an insult? I think so.
Am I a loser?
Yeah, someone typed, "Am I a loser? Are you a loser?" I think that's insulting. What do you think?
Yeah, it is. That's like telling you you're worthless. Look, for years, it's bothered me that I wasn't more intelligent, that I could not get a career. And, every time they talk about someone else, she's so smart, and she goes to college, she gets a degree, she gets a good paying job. And, I have to tell myself that, I think I'm more sensitive than some people are. I think I'm a great friend that, I'll do almost anything I can if somebody really needs it. But it bothers me that I wasn't smarter in math because I could have been a psychologist, made some good money, and I would have enjoyed it. And it does bother me. And Mr. Freeman, when they comment about my job, like, oh, let's get grading.
Let's not go down that highway, all right, please. I don't want people to know what you did for a living. It's none of their business.
I didn't say anything.
You did. You said he made comments about your job, and I'm to explain what your job is. Don't go down that road. Drop it.
I didn't. Now, okay, I don't want to hear any more about it. Anyway, but the thing is that, there's been times where it bothered me. I wasn't smarter. I didn't, I really didn't need anybody, being critical to me. I was just have, I really, don't think that's something you should do to a person. If you're not, being smart does not mean that you're not worthy. But some people think that.
Well, I've been putting up with that stuff for 17 years. I try to ignore it for the most part. So.
Well, it wasn't anybody. I wasn't. People didn't actually say I was a loser, but there were times I was depressed because I wanted to get a better paid job. And when I found out I couldn't handle the math, the psychology job went out the window. There was a reason, there was no way I could go to a college to get a degree because you get into algebra and statistics, and that really irritates me. The stupid rule that doesn't have anything to do with it, and you said something to me about why they do it. Well, I still think it's horrible.
They do it because they're mean-spirited jerks. Remember, people spirited jerks. Remember, people. I told you about my mother. I told you about my mother that. May I finish speaking? You have this horrible habit of interrupting when I'm not done. My mother felt superior to everybody. And these people who make these rude and nasty comments feel somehow superior when they're not. They have no right to feel superior. They're no better than you are. They think they are.
Well, when I was in elementary school, I encountered a lot of arrogance from the children who thought they were better than me, and they tried to make me feel bad. And I don't know where anybody thinks. I don't know why people think children are sweet, innocent. Children can be horribly cruel. They can be just horrible when they're young, and I don't know if they grow out of got everybody killed, and it was horrible.
Can I ask you a legitimate question?
Yes.
Are you ever happy?
I can say right now, no, I'm not.
No, I'm saying ever because it seems like every time you talk to me on the phone, you're unhappy.
Well, I mean, like, I don't want to be unhappy, but I mean, like, life is very pressing for me.
Yeah, but you're 62 years old. You act as if nothing happy has ever happened.
Well,
And that's both sad and it depresses the hell out of me.
yes, well, look at the, okay, the reason, you know, the thing is that I've always wanted people to be emotionally supportive around me, and now I've lost almost everybody who truly cared about me, and that's that's worse than being poor. It's worse than being disabled. Losing people that cared about you. That feels horrible.
Well, I'm supportive of you. I try anyway.
Yeah, I know that, but Judy and that other, Mr. Fremont, they really worried about me. They did.
I don't know. Every time you talked about Mr. Fremont, he was giving you a ration of crap about something. I don't know how much he worried about you or not.
No, he did. I know. You know what? He also took it. Patty told me, that if you knew that when you were at the apartment, that he told him that he wanted to marry me.
Yeah, well, that wasn't going to happen.
Well, no, but I mean,
for a lot of reasons.
I mean, his friend, his friend told me that, and I'm really shocked because Patty and him, they went out. I mean, they had a relationship for a while, and it shocked me when she said, yeah,
Mr. Fremont treated you like dirt. He went out with you, but he was not very nice to you. Now, let's change the subject. I don't want people knowing about your past. That's none of their business.
I know. That's it's just,
well, I wish you'd try. I wish from.
That care about me and love me, the happier I feel.
I wish you would.
Okay, when things get rough, I have somebody that I can talk to about something, and I'm lonely. That's most of the reason for being happiness. That I can talk to about something, and I'm lonely. That's most of the reason for being happiness. I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind it now.
I wish you would.
I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind it now.
I wish you would try to think positive. That there are nice things in the world, and you are relatively healthy. You've got a place to live. Now you have two sweet kitties. I'm sure they're going to be big babies. I calculated that you'll have $6,000. It's disgusting, but the 1st of November. That should buy any car we want. I found another hybrid with touring with the leather seats with 161,000 miles, but he wants $5,300 or $6,300, and we're not there yet.
No.
So once you hold on, let me finish speaking. This is important. Once you have a car, I think some of this anxiety you've got will go away because you won't be stuck in your house all the time, and you won't have to rely on Patty all the time. You can go where you want. Now, I know I will pester you to take. I'm sorry, what?
I really don't like, having to depend upon her. I really don't like that at all.
I will pester you or ask you nicely to take me out because I'm going stir crazy near. Abram came by today. And it was very nice to see another human being other than you in here. I love you very much, but I don't have any friends either because they've all died on me.
Yeah, I know.
Excuse
You
me,
know
man.
what they, you know, I always thought that I was very unhealthy. I always thought I'd be the first one to go. I never
Well, remember, Pam smoked. Judy was strange. She wouldn't disrobe for the doctor. I've never heard anybody do that in my life. And she was starving to death because she was so broke paying $700 a month for that trailer. And she should have sold that thing when her parents died and she got 10 grand. And she was stupid enough to tell Social Security she got that money. That was really, really dumb.
the stupid thing she did was not moving out of there. I mean, she was the youngest child. There was no way. There was no way that they were going to outlive her. I mean, she didn't want to face reality.
Look, when she had a good job at Long, she quit it, moved in with her parents, and I know that irritated the hell out of them that she wouldn't go out. She had a chance to her own apartment, she wouldn't do it.
No, well, no. Yeah, she worked for 50s.
I thought it was Long's, but say it's a drugstore.
Well, yeah, but it was called 50s when I was a teenager. And she had a job as a cashier there for 5 years. She could have been up for management. And one of her goofy friends, we went off to England and tried to make a living there. And she just dropped everything. And, oh, okay.
Maybe Judy had a streak of just plain laziness.
Why do you think she put the job?
Yeah, it was easier to live with her parents and go out on her own. Maybe she was terrified. Remember, she told us that she would never live in an apartment on her own.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when she told me that. How do you know? Told me that. How do you know? I thought to myself, what is wrong with you?
I don't get it.
That was unbelievable.
Well,
and the house that they lived in before they bought the trailer, it was a very large house. Had a huge yard, had a swimming pool, and I just thought it was and when they decided they were going to sell that and move it to a trailer, that should have been an eye opener. That should have, the little tiny bedroom. She had that trailer. It was so small, and
well, I went in there once. That bed took up. I went in there to wake her up. You had to go out. That bed took up the entire room.
I know.
There was enough to get by at the foot of the bed, and the door was wide open, but you could not have closed that door. That bed was gigantic, and it was ridiculous. There was no furniture in there. There was nothing in there but this giant bed, and that's when they found her dead. And I'm sorry she's gone. She was a lot better friend to you than Patty or Pam, but there ain't a hell of a lot you can do about it.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't think, but I don't, she really didn't want to. She really didn't want to face reality at all.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. All I know is she had friends bringing her food. She was starving, and she was broke. And if I had known that, then I would have gone out with you and I would have got her food. I didn't know she was in that dire straits.
Yeah, she was. But it was more important for her to pay a cable bill than it was to eat. She became obsessed with watching TV. I don't know. I really think she was just shut off from the rest of the world.
Well, I think the problem is, I think she was probably very depressed. I
Yes,
can't
she
prove
was.
it. First, her parents
But, you
died.
know, and
Then
when
her
her
cat
cat died,
died.
she got, you know, the neighbors said she got really, really bad.
And that cat she had, and you told me she had another cat, they were the meanest cats I'd ever seen.
Yeah, they were.
But the cat died, and she had that cat forever. And I think that was the final straw. I think she just gave up. And people, they can only put
Yeah,
up with so much stuff, and they give up.
I think she did too. I was just, I think I made her snap. I don't think she heard about anything after that happened. And
And
it was
Pam
bad.
died.
But,
Remember that thing was something else. When Pam died, Judy knew her, and you lost a friend. So,
well,
um,
some of the things that Pam did to me really,
well, let's not get into that. But
well, we were talking about it.
yeah, but you need to clear it with headquarters first. Um, in other words, you talk about that privately, and then I can say that's suitable for discussion and that's not. Remember, I'm alive on the air. You have to think about that when you talk. And I just, well, look, I'm gonna let you go. Any cat sightings? No kitties yet? Again?
No, I don't see it.
All right. All right, I will see you. And you need to get to bed because we both have to get up early. I'm going to end this. Nobody's chatting anymore. So
Yeah,
to get up early. I'm going to end this. Nobody's chatting anymore. So
yeah, right.
maybe they're mad at me. The guy came in. Tell people to watch my channel. It's my birthday. And I said, that's asking me to advertise for your channel. I don't do that. Happy birthday. And I told everybody to go look at his channel. But
Does anybody know I had a birthday recently?
yeah, they do. They like you.
All right.
Tonight, maybe they like you better than they like me. I told all about MB, Heather Wade, and the possibility Art Bell was murdered. They're saying I need to get a gun. They might come after me. I'm not worried about it.
No, I'm really worried about it either.
All right, have a good night. I'll see you in the morning. Bye. Don't forget you got to go to Target.
Right.
All right, I'll see you at the restaurant tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to get up about 10 and then go feed Talkie and Tiny, check the mail, and then go up to Red Lobster, and I'll meet you at the restaurant. Bye. Okay, I think that's it. No one's chatting, and I don't know why. And this drives me crazy every night. I see 10 people in here, nobody says a word. 10 people watching, no one says a word. So I will be done now. And something just went in my screen. I don't know what that was. Something shifted. But Kathy agrees with me. You ask someone, are you a loser? You're insulting them. And that's why I blocked 2 guys. I won't have that. I put up with that for 17 years online. I won't have it in my chat room. You're not going to be nice in here, don't even come in. And I have to look up this Lasha and see if I can contact Michael Bear. And it's midnight. I'm getting tired. So it's almost midnight. It is 12:03. That clock's about 7 minutes slow. All right, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. Stay warm, wet, dry, or cool as the case may be. And above all, stay safe out there. And I will catch you next time. Have a good morning and bye-bye.